Hey, it's Guy DiMartino in Indiana, estate planning lawyer. Today I want to talk a little bit about some of the ways that you can transfer property without putting it into a trust and without it having to go through the probate process. So the first thing that you can do is you can actually make the deed transfer on death. So you can set up the deed to transfer to a friend, a family member at the time that you die. You can avoid probate that way. The next thing that you can do with real property is you can set up the deed in a lot of ways. The first would be you can accept and take a life estate in the property and then have the folks that you want to transfer the property to be remainders. So what the deed says is, I am keeping the property, a life estate. That means that I have full use of the property until I die, and at the time of my death, the property transfers automatically to those other folks who are listed on the deed. Another way that you can do it is you can have joint tenants with rights of survivorship. What that means is that you and your joint tenants own the property at the same time. For instance, if I would be your joint tenant, you and I would own the property as joint tenants with rights of survivorship, and depending upon who passes away first, what would happen was that if you passed away, then your hand automatically goes off, and I own the property solely. The problem with a joint tenancy sometimes is that each person has the right to possess the property, and so if your goal is for you to have control, possession of everything of the property at the time that you're alive and then transfer the property, if you have a joint tenant, then that person can really do something with the property. The other thing is you can't protect your property if that other person gets in trouble with creditors or things along those lines. So sometimes joint tenancies do not work, because if you have somebody who could potentially get in trouble, or if you have somebody that, might, if you disagree, then you'd have to go through an action to partition the property, which could cost a whole bunch of money and litigation expenses, other legal expenses, and then the other person might actually want money for the property that they didn't even put into it. But there is a procedure called an accounting, which we can go ahead and go through. So the three main ways would be a transfer on death deed, a life estate with the property transferring to whoever you list on the deed, and a joint tenancy with rights of survivorship. If you have any questions about how to transfer real property without having to go to probate or put in the real property into a trust, you can always give me a call. I am Guy DiMartino. Have yourself a great day.